Final votes coming in on Friday. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, Friday is going to be another very important day as the final votes will be coming in on this next reconciliation bill, otherwise known as the Democrats' stimulus bill. So let's get into it and talk about what we can anticipate on this day and how there may actually be some major changes to this bill before they actually vote on it. So let's get into it and talk about what is going on and what we can anticipate on Friday. Let's get right into it. However, really quickly before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as I am your one and only daily advocate, and I am very much dedicated to you and this community to continue doing all the research, breaking it all down into these short videos, which I deliver a couple times throughout the day so you can stay updated with what is actually going on as things are changing very rapidly and we continue to get all these very important announcements. So again, thanks so much for joining me. I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be, so make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss any videos going forward, and please remember to leave your comments, questions, and feedback down below as well, as I do read as many of those as I possibly can, and I truly want to be here for you in any way that I possibly can, as I am right here by your side. That's my dedication and my commitment to you and the community, and as always, I'm sticking to it. All right, thanks again. Let's jump into it and talk about what we can anticipate on Friday as they're going to be voting on this bill yet again. All right, so just a couple days ago, we know that the Senate has negotiated out all the details of this bill. They've applied any amendments, and they voted on it, and yes, they have now passed it. Now, on Friday, the House of Representatives will be returning back from their summer recess, which, by the way, they've been gone for a couple weeks already. Yeah, hope they're enjoying their vacation. Anyway, sorry to interrupt House Representatives, but they're going to be coming back on Friday for just a quick little visit to vote on this bill, the reconciliation bill, the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022, to actually vote on this thing and then maybe pass it or maybe make some amendments and send it on back to the Senate. We will have to see. So after they pass it, provided there are no amendments to it, then it would go straight on to the president. If there are amendments, then guess what happens? It has to go back to the Senate and they have to vote on it yet again. So let me tell you what I've been reading about this because, as I've said so many times before, the House of Representatives is generally just a big old rubber stamp, right? Get it all greased up and slap the stamp right on there and say passed, right? That's usually what the House does. However, this time it might be a little bit different. Is anything ever really different? Let's be real with ourselves. No, not really, right? However, I have been reading some things about this, and there might be a few holdout representatives out there who may want some changes in this bill. Let me tell you the details on this, because this came out of the Build Back Better agenda from last year, and then all of a sudden, we might be getting this brought back in this bill as well, and this might offer a little bit of contention going forward, but realistically, we'll have to see what happens here on Friday. Again, everybody loves to talk a big talk, and then all of a sudden when it comes down to it, everybody, like a turtle, goes back into their shell and just does what they're told. So anyway, let's see what happens here. Anyway, let me tell you what they're actually thinking right now. So there's something called the SALT deduction, which stands for state and local tax deductions. So as of right now, there's a $10,000 cap on what you can actually deduct off your federal taxes from your state and local taxes, things like this, right? It's a $10,000 cap. This is the cap that was put in place back in 2017 with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. Well, as a result of that, there's a couple representatives out there, a small handful, but the fact of the matter is, guess what? You only need a small handful of representatives, right? That's all you really need right now to derail this whole bill. So what they're actually considering, and the saying that they came up with last year is no salt, no deal, right? So maybe they'll spread a little salt on this little package and see what happens, right? Watch it squirm around when you spray a bunch of salt on it. Anyway, let's see what happens here. But what's coming down to is some of these representatives are coming out suggesting that maybe here's our opportunity. Let's raise the state and local tax deduction, as in the SALT in this bill, as in raise that cap from $10,000 up even more than that, $20,000, $30,000, or even more. In some income thresholds, they want to even completely remove the cap, right? So basically, it's just the amount of money that can be deducted from federal taxes, from state and local taxes, right? So that's what it comes down to. But anyway, some of these representatives are actually saying, hey, we want to raise the SALT deduction in this bill, and if you guys can't get it done, then we're not going to vote for this thing. So we might actually be seeing some drama throw down on Friday, which honestly, might be a little bit entertaining. Let's just be real with ourselves for a second here, right? Because they think that they're going to come in right away and just get this thing done in like record speed here and then just be out of there and back to their recess, right? Well, who knows? It might not actually turn out to be that way. And here's another thing that I want to throw out really quickly as well. This generally happens. If there happens to be one amendment, guess what? There might be more, because guess why? If there's one amendment, that just means that the House of Representatives needs to pass it, and then it needs to go back to the Senate. Even with just one amendment to the bill, it still has to go back to the Senate and get approved yet again. It needs to be voted on and approved one more time. So as long as they're going back to the Senate and they're maybe voting on it and making one amendment to the bill, they might be thinking, hey, there's already one amendment. It already has to go back to the Senate. Why not we throw in a couple other amendments and really put this thing in a place where we really want the bill right now? So if there happens to be one amendment, I wouldn't be shocked at all to see more, 2, 3, 4, 5, a handful of amendments come into this bill, because ultimately at the end of the day, they need to send it back to the Senate anyway, right? However, that's what it comes down to. I would anticipate there's either going to be 0 amendments or there's going to be a small handful of amendments, anywhere between maybe 2 and 5 or something like that, just because they already know that, well, as long as we're making some amendments, then I want this, and I want that, and we want this, things like this, right? We've seen it play out before. Wouldn't be shocked again to see it this time. So maybe this could actually translate into something good for us. At the same time, I want to be very clear about this. I'm not here to start to instill this little hope that there's going to be something in the bill for us. At the end of the day, I want to make it very clear. As of right now, the bill has essentially nothing in it for us, and I'm not here to get the hopes up of anybody saying that for sure they're going to add something for us. I don't know that. I'm just simply saying, in the event that they do add this SALT deduction cap increase and they do amend the bill, I wouldn't be shocked one bit to see other representatives stepping up and saying, well, here's my idea. What about my idea? I want my idea in the bill. I want this change to the bill. I want to amend that. I want to put this in. I want to take that out. Start playing around and start tinkering around with the bill. Would not be shocked one bit to see that. We've seen it before. Wouldn't be surprised to see it again. So just throwing that out there. But if they do not offer any amendments to this bill and they just vote on it and pass it, well then that's just how it is. It's just kind of locked in, and then it goes on to the president for the signature. Once he signs it, then it's locked, sealed, done. It's over. That's it. Done. Right? So we'll have to see. Friday is going to be the big day. The House of Representatives will be returning, and they will be holding this vote on Friday, and that'll be the big day to see, does it pass? Does it undertake any amendments to this thing? And if it does, again, if it takes any amendments on this bill, let's just say, for example, that there's one amendment. Again, maybe there is just one amendment. And then it goes back to the Senate. Guess what? It's going to cause all kinds of drama yet again, right? So I don't know. We might be in for a little bit of a longer haul here than we actually think. Again, it could be completely 100% over on Friday, or we might go back for that amendment, and then all of a sudden goes back to the Senate, and then we have to open up that can of worms again. So this kind of up in the air right now. But again, this is just based on what I'm reading. And as I've said before, we always hear so many things like this, right? It always comes down to it, and they have all these people, the senators or the representatives, that come out and say, we're going to do this, and we're not voting unless we get that. And then sure enough, when it comes down to it, either Chuck Schumer or Nancy Pelosi persuade them into voting, and all of a sudden they vote anyway. So, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. It's usually what happens. A lot of people talk big, and then when it comes down to it, no action, right? So, again, we'll have to see here. But anyway, Friday, will this be this big day? Yeah, it might just be a done deal on Friday, or maybe not. We'll have to see. Anyway, crossing our fingers that hopefully some of these representatives have been at home in their home districts here over the last couple of weeks because they've been enjoying their recess. Hopefully they've been talking to some of the residents in their home states, their home districts, and thinking, hey, we got a little outside of our bubble here. And we're recognizing that maybe the people right now are not doing quite as well as what we anticipate. As we all know, Congress lives in their own little bubble, right? I think many of us here in the community probably recognize that, they probably don't really understand what's really going on with Main Street America right now, because clearly they don't, considering all their what they're doing with these bills and stuff like that, and their lack of action, right? So maybe over the last couple of weeks that they've been home, maybe they've had a chance to talk to some of the people in their districts and thinking, people aren't really doing that great right now. There's a lot of people that are struggling, and maybe they can come back when they come back to this vote, and maybe they can actually do something for us. Again, I don't want to be here and say that for sure this is going to happen. I'm not sure. I'm just speculating and hoping that these people actually come to their senses and recognize that the people are really, really struggling right now. So anyway, I'll continue watching this very, very closely as I do get get more details throughout the week or on Friday, don't worry, I'll be right here for you, breaking it down and helping you out in any way that I can. So one more quick pro tip that I want to throw out here for you. Go back and watch some of the videos from yesterday and the day before, the last 2 days, right? So go back and watch those videos. I promise you, within those videos and those last couple of days here, there's some pretty cool things going on. Watch the videos, leave some comments down below, and throw your name in the hat. I'm going to throw that out there for you right now, okay? If you probably know what I'm talking about. Put your name in the hat means, if your name is in the hat, that means, hey, I might be able to win something or get something, right? Yeah, winner, winner, right? So anyway, make sure to go back and check out those videos. I'm doing whatever I possibly can here in this community to help you out, as that's my commitment. That's my dedication to you and this community as a whole. Either way, I'm sticking to it no matter what. Go back and check out those videos. Also, subscribe down below so you don't miss any videos going forward, and go back and check out and as well as share the other videos here on the channel with your friends, family, and social media. Thanks again. I appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I'll catch you again later in the next